Have you been getting frustrated trying to figure out how to build a credit score from scratch? If you are, I don't blame you. There's some info out there, but it's not all accurate. I often say that credit just isn't intuitive, it's something you have to learn. But I'm going to take that further today and I'm going to say credit is just plain weird. It really is. Some of it doesn't even make sense, but that's why you have me. I'm going to show you how to build a credit score from the ground up so that you will be on your way to developing good credit, and that will give you some good financial opportunities, and it also helps you save money on a variety of things. So let's get started. I'm going to go over 3 different ways that you can build credit from the ground up. The first one is to use a secured credit card. Now, I like this method because it gives you a chance to get your feet wet with a credit card. And if you've never used one before, it's kind of like using a credit card with guardrails on it. And the reason for that is because they usually have low credit limits. Now, the APRs tend to be a little bit high. Well, all credit card APRs are high right now. But if you pay your bill in full by the due date every single month, that won't be a problem for you, right? Right. So the way this works is you give a deposit to the issuer to secure the card. Now you'll get a credit card. It will not say secured on it. There is nothing about that card that suggests you're new to credit. It looks just like any other credit card. Most of the major issuers, Discover, Capital One, Citi, many others, all have secured credit cards. So do your research and find one that works for you. Some of these have rewards. But again, don't carry a balance. Your goal right now is to build a credit score. In order to do that, you need to go with an issuer who reports your payment history to the bureaus. Your payment history is 35% of your FICO score, and that's a big chunk. So be sure you pay your credit card bill on time and all of your other bills. It's not unheard of for other bills, like a wayward cell phone bill, to suddenly get reported if you didn't pay it. So stay on top of your bills, and you will be on your way to developing a good score. With a secured credit card, sometimes there are fees. You're going to have to read the fine print very carefully. You can do it. Get in a chair, be comfortable, good lighting, maybe a magnifying glass, and you'll be able to find any and all fees. The major issuers are usually pretty good about having really good policies and low fees, so check that out. Up next, we're going to talk about becoming an authorized user in case that is an option for you. Another really easy way to build credit is to become an authorized user on someone else's credit card. Now, the person who owns the credit card account is known as the primary cardholder, and that person has the ability to make someone an authorized user. This often works with parents and adult children or teenagers. So this is an option for you. It is a good way to build credit. Or you might have a close relative or someone else that you trust who has a great credit score. Now, it's very important that the two of you have an agreement. If one of you uses the card irresponsibly, it can wreck the credit of both of you. Okay. So you need to be sure you have an agreement with the primary card holder as to how much you can put on that card, and don't go over that. The primary card holder is responsible for paying the bill, but that doesn't mean you cannot come up with an arrangement where you use the card and you pay that person for what you use the card for. This way, you can build credit and it's no inconvenience for the primary card holder. But you have to be sure that you use the card responsibly. Be sure you know how much you could put on that card. There's something called a credit utilization ratio. And no matter what credit card you're using, you have to think about this. That ratio is the amount of credit you've used compared to the amount you have available. So if this credit card has a $2,000 credit limit, you don't want to put more than $600 on that card. That's 30% of $2,000. But if you really want to boost your score, keep it under 10%. So that would be $200. So do yourself a favor and get used to these rules right now, because that's going to help you for the rest of your life. All right, that is one way to do it. Another way, a credit builder loan. If you're not comfortable with credit cards, this might be the best option for you. We've talked about using a secured credit card or becoming an authorized user on someone else's credit card, someone who has great credit. But what if you're not comfortable using a credit card? Or what if you haven't been able to get approved for a credit card? Well, I have an answer for you. It's called a credit builder loan, and it differs from a traditional loan in this way. With a traditional loan, let's say you get a loan for $1,000. You get the $1,000 up front, and then you make payments on that, including interest, to the bank or the credit union where you got the loan. You build credit that way. With a credit builder loan, let's say it's $1,000, the bank or credit union holds on to that $1,000. They put it in a secured account for you. And what this does is it decreases the risk to the bank or the credit union so that they feel comfortable giving you a loan, sort of, without taking a lot of risk. So they have your money and you make payments on that. And then when you pay off that $1,000 loan with interest and any fees involved, you get that money back. But here's the benefit for you. During that time, while you're making payments, the institution will report your payment history to the credit bureaus. Some of them only report to one credit bureau. Look for one that reports to all three. That can help you more. Okay. So a credit builder loan can really be great for somebody who has zero credit or limited credit. So keep that in mind and make all of your payments on time. It's very, very important. Payment history is 35% of your FICO score, and it also is very highly rated with your Vantage score as well. So you can get off to a great start by just making all these payments on time, and a credit builder loan can really help you. In this episode, we covered how to build credit from scratch. I covered secured credit cards, becoming an authorized user on someone else's credit card, or if you don't want to use a credit card, a credit builder loan. Also, if you have the opportunity, you can do all three of these to really boost your credit in a hurry. So how long does it take? With a FICO score, and that's the most commonly used score when you apply for credit, it takes 6 months to generate a score. So get started as soon as you can. With Vantage Score, you'll earn a score much more quickly after 1 or 2 months, but they aren't used as often as FICO scores. They're both important, but the FICO score is the one that's used by about 90% of lenders. If you enjoyed this episode of Your Personal Economy, I hope you'll subscribe, tell your friends about it, and if you want to know anything else about building credit, any questions you have at all, please leave me a comment. I look forward to seeing you next time.